Making a video about this is very strange, to say the least. Hello, my beautiful friends. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's having an amazing day. And I am ready to share my little journey that I've been through for these couple months with you guys. So this video is going to be kind of like an update, a life update, and a Q&A mixed in one. I'm going to be talking about my cancer journey, how I was diagnosed, some symptoms that I had, what the plan was, and where I'm at now. So if you are interested in hearing more, just keep watching. So okay, so get to the nitty-gritty stuff. I was diagnosed this year in February, Valentine's Day actually. The type of cancer that I have is a lymphoma cancer, which is a blood cancer, and my type of lymphoma was a large B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was a cluster of cancer cells in my neck, on the left side of my neck. And so that's pretty much what, I was diagnosed with. Now, the good thing about this type of cancer is that the survival rate is very high, and the cure rate is very high. So that's one positive way, or one positive thing at least, about, this. For the most part, guys, I'm doing fine. I'm okay. I finished chemo, and I feel like I'm going back to normal. I feel, like I'm gaining my strength back, and I'm just slowly but surely starting to feel like my normal self again. So let me think. So this all started in December. It started in December when I felt a lump in my neck. I was literally just touching myself, and then I just felt something. It was a small bump, but it was a lump, and I didn't get too concerned, but at the same time, you kind of know your body, and you're like, what the heck, naturally, I think when we find lumps on ourselves, or things like that, we automatically think tumor or cancer or whatever, so I'm not gonna lie, that did cross my mind, just because I know my body and I know myself, and for the most part, I'm 27 years old, and I've been very healthy my whole life. Like, I've never had any issues. I've always been a very healthy person. I've never had any health scares or any issues with my health. So it started with a lump, and I kind of just really didn't think anything of it. I just told myself I was going to keep an eye on it. And then over the weeks, it progressively started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this went into January. So the beginning of January, I kept feeling the lump. My husband even felt the lump, and yeah, it was getting bigger for sure. So I made an appointment, and I saw my doctor, and sure enough, she felt it and put me on antibiotics. She thought maybe it is an infection, so she put me on antibiotics. I took those for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it didn't do anything. I went back. She prescribed me some stronger antibiotics. I took those, and nothing. So this lump in my neck wouldn't go away. The third time that I went to visit her, she said, this is probably something else. We're gonna need to get a biopsy on it. And when she said that, of course, my heart sunk, and I felt that gut feeling in your stomach when you just kind of know that this is not good news. So Goodness gracious. I didn't even know I was going to get emotional doing this. Anyway, so she sent me into a specialist to get a biopsy on it. He did the biopsy in the office. They numbed me. I don't know about you guys, I'm not a very big needle person. I don't like needles, and for some reason I don't take like numbing medicine, like sleeping medicine, all that stuff. It takes a lot for me to get it, for it to like actually hit. So maybe they just didn't put enough numbing medicine, but I did feel everything, and let me tell you, that shit hurt. They go in your neck with this long needle, and it's like a suction, so like they're putting it in to the area, and then they're like probing around, but they're also like trying to suction it, so it feels like you're like moving like that. So it was very strange. It was a very weird experience. Overall, the whole biopsy, it took about 20 to 25 minutes. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys caution that it may hurt just a little bit, even though they tell you, oh, you won't feel anything, he's really smooth with his hands and da 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 da. I've heard it all, but no, I felt it. So anyway, after he took out the biopsy, I got the results back in 2 days. They called me 2 days later, and of course it was nerve-wracking. I mean, I was like waiting, and you know, I was hopeful that maybe it was just an infection, or maybe they could just take it out and it'll be all right, or whatever. But he called me and said that it looked like there were some abnormal cancer cells in this tissue samples that they retrieved from my neck, but that they needed to get more tests done on it for, you know, a better diagnosis. So they needed to remove my lymph node. So then it happened really quickly. After the biopsy, 2 days, I got my results, and then like 2 days later they scheduled me for surgery. But a day later, yeah, they told me that he brought me in and he told me that it was a lymphoma cancer and that he wanted to refer me to an oncologist. So this was on Valentine's Day when he told me. I don't think I processed it all at that time, and it was just very hard to hear that, very hard. And so, you know, I mean, you know, I just had to keep pushing, and it just, you know, I was just more like, okay, what's the next step? What do we have to do? You know, what's the next step? And so the cancer center where I'm at in Alabama, it's really, really good. The doctors are very talented. They're very, you know, compassionate. They're very sympathetic, and they're very relatable. So my doctor, he's amazing. He really is. He's really, really on it. You know, and he's just very, very thorough, and he's really good. So I'm really happy that, you know, that the cancer specialists there are really good. So after I met my oncologist, he pretty much, you know, they set you up for a PET scan, which is a scan that scans your whole body. And this is how they're able to determine what stage your cancer is in. So I got scanned, and thankfully I was in stage 1. So they caught it really early. And he just said it was just an aggressive type of lymphoma because it was growing so fast. So that's why the lump kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, you know, he said good thing is the lymphoma didn't spread anywhere else in your body. With these type of cancers, especially lymphoma, a lot of people get them in their groin area, in their breasts, in their necks, and even in their armpit. So, you know, it's very important that you have to, like, you check yourself, you know, on a daily. You check yourself and you make sure that everything is fine, and that there's no abnormalities with your body. So I really hope I'm not going on and on. Anywho, so yeah, that was pretty much it. I met my oncologist. He gave me a PET scan. The PET scan came back and everything was fine. I was in my early stages, so the only thing is they found, you know, even after extraction, there were still some cancer cells in that area in my neck. So, you know, he wanted to go ahead and get me a port and set me up for chemo. So yeah, that all that is just a lot to consume in a short amount of time. Like, this was like literally all in 1 month. Felt like it was like in 2 weeks, but you know, the good thing about it is that they did move quickly, because a lot of people, you know, sometimes they're waiting like weeks and weeks to get results or to even start their chemo, and by that time, you know, their cancer spread and just gotten worse. So yeah, the good thing about it is that it did move quickly. So he didn't want to waste any time. So I got my port put in. I didn't get to do it yesterday because I was so freaked out, but it didn't even hurt.
No, well, with the numbing medicine.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. See?
Yeah. So that is my port, and a port is where they give you your chemo medicine. It is just like this little, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like this little button with like 3 dots in it, and it's like they put it in your chest area, and that's where they hook up the chemo medicine. The chemo medicine is sometimes very tough for your veins. So instead of, you know, them putting it through IV and eating up your veins and messing up your veins and stuff, they just put it in through your chest. So they put that in, and then they scheduled me for a bone marrow. The bone marrow hurts too. It was so bad I couldn't take it. So he had to send me to the hospital to actually put me out to do it, because I was moving too much, and duh. I mean, they're just like sticking this long thing down your tailbone. I got my port put in, and they scheduled me for chemo. So the type of plan that I had was 3 chemo medicines and a lot of iron. I was very low in my iron, so they had to give me a lot of iron. I actually had to get an iron infusion before I even started the chemo. So, you know, make sure that you're taking vitamins and you're taking care of yourself as far as your vitamins and your iron and on, just checking on all that stuff, because I was very low. Like he said, very, very, very low. Where he said, you know, your body's not going to be able to combat this chemo if your iron is low. It's just going to make it harder for you. You're going to feel like worse. You know, chemo already makes you feel worse, but you're going to feel even worse. So anyway, I got my iron infusion, and then chemo started. So the chemo treatment that I was getting was like 3 chemo treatments, but they were in cycles. So it was like 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. So it did give me time for my body to kind of like go through it, and then, you know, finally start feeling back to normal so I could do it all over again. So, but it was only 3. So it, you know, it wasn't that bad. So the 3 chemo medicines that I got, I'll list them here because I can't say those damn words for nothing. But I'm going to put them in here, and those were the 3 chemos that I got. You know, he did tell me that, you know, they ask you questions before you do chemo, like, especially if you're young or a woman, if you plan on having any more kids and things like that, because they do have to be honest with you about infertility and your chances of getting pregnant in the future, and, you know, losing your hair, what type of side effects, things like that. So I pretty much got all the side effects of cancer, of chemo. I mean, I threw up a lot, metal tasting in your mouth, loss of hair, you know, like no appetite, headaches, nausea, all of it. The first maybe 3 days, 3 or 4 days were the worst. But after your 5th, 6th, 7th day, it starts to get a little easier. You know, you're kind of able to eat and you're up and walking and doing stuff for yourself. But hey guys, I'm just checking in. It is about 2:30 in the afternoon, and it is day 3 since I got my chemo, my first round of chemo. And today's definitely been kicking my ass. I woke up with full-blown nausea, and my bones and my body hurt like crazy, and it still does. They told me that it was because of the shot that they gave you. Sorry. They told me that. But this is only day 3, and just thought I'd update you guys and see how you guys are doing. But I know that, you know, I did want to share my experience with you guys, regardless of how I feel. I want this to be raw and transparent, you know, because I know that there are other people that will benefit from this journey and, you know, from me sharing my experience too. Just like I've been able to gain a lot of information from people that share their journeys too. So I appreciate and applaud those people for being brave and posting their journeys online. It is intense. Like it really is. And I have so much respect for people that have to do this on their own, because if it wasn't for like my husband and my son and my family keeping me motivated and checking up on me and just making sure that I was good and healthy, and if I needed anything, it's just a lot. It really is. It's a lot, and it's just a lot of things that you're having to go through, not just mentally but physically. You know, it just takes you out. It really does. Any advice that I have for somebody that is about to go through chemo is just to take it one day at a time. You know, don't overexert yourself. Take advantage of the energy that you get, and just get a lot of rest, and just take it easy, and just take it one day at a time. Matter of fact, take it one step at a time. Not even a day. Take it one step at a time, because you know, it's just your body goes through a lot of things at one time, and you don't really know how to deal with it all. It's a lot of things to process, you know, and you have to be in a very positive mindset. Even though you're going through this, you have to be in a very positive mindset, because even though it sucked, I'm telling y'all, it sucked. But, you know, I kept thinking I could have had it worse, you know. And you just have to fight. You know, you just have to fight with all the strength in your body and just get through it. So, yeah. So I finished chemo in May 12th or May 13th was like my last official day of chemo.
Okay. Ring this bell 3 times while it's told to clearly say, my treatment's done, this course is run, and I am on my way.
And now, the beginning of June is when I started feeling back to normal. I started feeling like myself again. You know, my sleep was good. I was sleeping better. My body wasn't hurting. I was, you know, I'm able to start working out. It's just a lot. You know, my hair is growing back. A lot of things have changed. I've just felt a lot I just feel much better. Where I'm at now, I guess an update on my journey is I'm going through radiation now, and the radiation is nowhere near like how chemo is. It's pretty straightforward. It's very, I go in every day, Monday through Friday, for like maybe 15 minutes, and I have to go in the same time every day. I lay in a machine and they put this mask on me, and I'll insert a picture of the mask. That was a very bizarre experience too. So they put this mask on you. So the plan is to do 15 or 17 doses of radiation, and that should take care of everything. And then I will, go back to my oncologist and get another PET scan, and then they'll be able to see if any residue or anything like that is still wandering around. So the plan is to absolutely cure it, and then that it hopefully doesn't come back. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Okay, so I guess I'll answer some questions that I got before we close out this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. It probably was. But, I know a lot of people were asking me how I was, and just, a lot of questions about, my diagnosed is that a word? Me being diagnosed, my symptoms, how I am, all that. So, and by the way, I will insert some clips and videos, footage that I've kind of, inserted as I've been going through this journey. I've kind of, just been keeping like a little diary or a vlog to kind of help myself get everything out of my mind, and just hopefully, just put this testimony out there and close this chapter and move on. Anyway, let's get straight into the Q&As, the questions. So some of the questions that I got were, number one, how did you find out you had cancer? So it started with an enlarged lymph node in my neck, and it wouldn't go away with antibiotics, and so that's pretty much how I found out. When was I first diagnosed? I was first diagnosed Valentine's Day, so February 14th, 2020. What type of cancer is it? My type of cancer is a large B cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. What were your symptoms? Okay, so I didn't cover this one. I looked it up. I didn't get any symptoms. I did not get any symptoms that people usually get when they have this type of blood cancer. I didn't get night sweats. I didn't get sore throat, nothing, coughing, nothing. Like, I did not get any type of symptoms except for a large growing lump on my neck. That was it. So I don't know. I didn't get any symptoms at all. Yeah, so to answer your question, I didn't have any symptoms. I even looked up all the symptoms of lymphoma, and I did not have one. So it differs from person to person, but no, I didn't have any symptoms at all. What is the scariest part of having cancer? I don't think I wouldn't even let myself think that. I wouldn't even let myself say that I have cancer. Like, I just, I would just tell people that I'm going through chemo, or, I'm going through this. The scariest part, I'll just be honest, is when they first tell you. When they first tell you that you have this, this illness that is known to kill people. Every single day somebody is dying from cancer, and it's like you can't fight it. You can't fight the thought of it. It's you automatically hear cancer and you think death. Like, that's just to be real. You just think death. So it was scary. I mean, the scariest part was that, just having to really come to terms with, this is what I'm going through, this is what I have. There are people that go through this and don't make it out. There are people that have lymphoma and pass away, you know, and etc. So it's a lot of scary thoughts that you're having to process. So that for me was just my own mind and my own thoughts, having to think of myself in the future, you know, maybe not being here, or you know, things like that. So that was pretty much for me the scariest part of it all, was just finding out. How has this changed your perspective on life? I love this question. It changed my life. I changed my perspective in life for sure. I don't take my life for granted. It changes your perspective on the littlest things that you do every day. Waking up, kissing your kids, you know, kissing your husband goodbye. My mom was my rock throughout it all. She really was. I wouldn't have been able to do this without her or my husband. But both of them were there for me. My mom was my rock. She was there whenever I needed her. She was just being, you know, a mom. And I needed that mom nurture, you know, while I was going through this. I really did. It helped me a lot. My husband was as supportive as can be. You know, he really was making sure that I was comfortable, that if I needed anything, he ran out to the store and got it. You know, give me massages, booty rubs, everything that I needed, he was there. So I couldn't ask for a better support system. And how I told my family was, you know, I just let them know that I was pretty much updating. They knew about what was going on with me, so it wasn't like a big shock, but you know, obviously it was very hard to tell them, but they were all very supportive. They were all by my side. They all, you know, were very involved, and you know, everybody was, you know, it was a real family unit. I really appreciate my family. I love them so much, and that they have really stepped up for sure, in supporting, you know, each other and all through this. They supported my husband while he was going through this, because it's not easy for the guy either, or, you know, your partner, and you're going through this too. So, you know, make sure that you check on that person too, because it's a lot that their, you know, family members are having to go through, as well as the person that is going through it. So it's really just a team effort, honestly. But my camera's about to die because I talked a lot. So that pretty much concludes everything, guys. I want to tell you guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate every single one of you guys that has reached out to me and shown me love and checked up on me and just wrote me every day, sending me prayers, thoughts, and just love. I feel the love, and I pray for every single person that right now is going through something. These are trying times right now, and I know we all need somebody to lean on, and we all need words of encouragement and, you know, kindness and love and just positivity. So just continue to spread love, guys, and love one another and be kind to each other, and let's lift each other up instead of tearing people down. But that's pretty much it. I love you guys. I will be back with more videos for sure.